Hi everybody. I have got Al, the owner of House Doctors here, and he is going to be sharing his resilient life story with us. So Al, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so I would like you to just begin wherever you'd like to begin.
Sure. Well, I guess the biggest thing is that I was very successful, 20-year Air Force career, got out and got into government contracting. I did a stint with MCI, lost $250,000 in that when they went bankrupt. So that's step number one. And that's just, when you think about it, it's just money. Mm-hmm. So, but we recovered from that. We just stepped into the next thing that God made available to us, mm-hmm. and that was back into government contracting. And I did that for another 6 or 7 years, and so I had been working for 43 years straight. I woke up on a Monday morning after 43 years, and I had been laid off with no notice. I got a notice on Friday afternoon. Sorry, we're cutting your position. The rumor was that this company had a call street on Wall Street that they couldn't meet. So their solution was, if you weren't direct billed to the government, then we were going to let you go. Well, I've been working with these guys for a number of years. I was a technical director, had 6-figure income. I was doing very, very well, had all the right certs and everything. I said, okay, no problem. I'll give it up. Yeah. I'll just go back to work. It's not a big deal. I mean, we've done it before. We can do it again. Little did I know that job search would wind up taking more than 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would get interviews and people would say, oh, yeah, we really like you. We would like to hire you, but we can't afford you. My response would be, well, I'm making zero. I'll bet you can afford me because I'm making zero and we need to eat.
Yes, exactly.
But then they'd say, well, you'll use as a stepping stone to get back to where you were, so you won't stay with us. And I would say, did you look at my resume? Do you see me jumping jobs? I mean, I worked at this place for 10 years and this place for 6 years and this place, Right. But it didn't make any difference. So when the severance pay ran out, the unemployment ran out, we were in pretty dire straits because we're like, gosh, what are we going to do? So
when you say we at this time, were you with children?
Yeah, my children were, we moved here to Colorado Springs in 1991 with the Air Force. We raised our kids here. My kids at that time were probably middle school.
Okay.
Thereabouts.
Wow, so that's a lot of pressure having middle schoolers.
Yeah. And so we, my wife and I was like, well, I did have military retirement, but that just barely covers your mortgage.
Right, exactly.
So I took a job as a $10 security guard so that we could eat.
Wow.
So that was really tough because, the kids are up and doing their thing in the daytime and everything happens in the day. I have to sleep. And then I go to work at 10:30 at night. There was some danger involved in it because we were watching apartments and not in the best part of town, which is why they needed security services. So, I was the guy with the gun that would say, all right, you guys need to go settle down. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we did that for, I did that for about 6 months. We got by. And then out of the blue, I got a call from a guy who was a franchise coach who now is really a very good friend of mine. He lives up in Castle Rock. He found my resume. And he asked me if I'd ever thought about starting my own business, and nearly hung up the phone because it was like, you're crazy. Only weird people, only people that don't have anything else going for them start their own business. That's not me. I know how to manage people. I know how to do this. I know how to get a schedule and get things done. I don't know the first thing about running a business. I'm really not interested. And he said, well, let's have lunch. I'm like, okay, lunch. I can do lunch because I'm hungry. Yes. So we got together and went through some things, and one thing led to another. And after we evaluated dozens of opportunities, we wound up choosing the House Doctors franchise.
Wow, so hold right there. So this is a franchise broker that you met with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was he able to get you to the point where you were open to actually start shopping companies?
Well, he built trust.
Okay.
Number one, he built trust with me, and similar backgrounds as far as we were both people of faith. We were both, and he says, I do this, to help people out. So we were like, well, we want to help people out. We want to be able to do something that's going to benefit others. And so he walked us through this process. Like I said, we looked at probably 8 or 10 or 12 different. One of the things that was really exciting for us, we thought, oh wow, this dog wash company, and a pet store thing.
Yes.
Like, oh, we love dogs, we love pets. Let's do this one.
Yeah.
And we went and started looking at it, and they said, well, $650,000 to start, and we're going to put your store where we want your store, and you need to make it work. And I was like, that's a lot of risk.
Yes.
and I don't have $650,000. So
right.
But the House Doctors opportunity really set really well with us, and we had investigated a lot of different things. We could not make up our mind. We narrowed it down to the House Doctors franchise and a cruise travel agency.
Oh, okay.
So we were like, yeah, we can do either one of these. So which one are we going to do? Well, again, people of faith. We can't make up our minds. We did our T-shirts. We did all the evaluations. These things, they're dead even. There's nothing that's going to make us so like. We probably ought to get God involved in our decision.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. So we decided that we would spend a weekend in prayer event.
Oh.
And so we did that. We started on a Friday. We spent all day Saturday doing stuff and being in the Word and understanding and listening to praise music and just hearing and waiting and listening. And we got together Saturday evening and we brought out our T-shirt charts, and we added about 15 or 20 pros to the House Doctor side and nothing to the cruise travel side.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so my wife and I, we looked at each other. We're like, I think we're supposed to do this. And we're like, God, is this what you really want us to do?
Wow.
And we got a resounding yes.
I think that's incredible that you got your bride in on it too.
Yeah.
And because she wasn't, always working for you in corporate America, obviously.
Nope.
So to actually come together as a couple and do this jointly is powerful as well.
Well, she's my best friend.
Yeah.
We've been married for 41 years.
So
this
that's amazing.
So we don't do anything without making sure that we're both on board. So
yeah.
And she had been military experience too. And so while I was in the military and I was traveling all over the place, she understood what we were doing and she supported all that. And then when I was doing government contracting, she understood that part. Lots and lots of travel, not home very much, but she stood by me for all those years. And of course, when it comes to making a major decision, because we were going to take our retirement money to do this. And that's pretty scary too.
It is scary. Well, especially after 2 years of unemployment and searching for work.
Yeah.
Wow. So was the startup costs lower, I'm assuming, but you were able to do it
right
with the retirement funds.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. We set aside enough money to purchase the franchise and to have a year's worth of operating costs.
Wonderful. That was wise.
And, well, I'm also a student of Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
I'm not dropping names here again.
Love him.
But
you could send me a check later.
Absolutely, yeah. But I had decided that if we were going to do a business, we weren't going to go into debt. Because I didn't want to have to owe anybody at the end of the day. So we had made that decision to invest that money and to operate without going into debt. And when we made that decision for House Doctors, and you look back on it, that was about 3 years before COVID. And if we'd have chosen the cruise travel agency, COVID would have destroyed our business and we'd had nothing.
Yeah. But
House Doctors was an essential service, and so we were working in people's homes through the whole pandemic thing. And our guys would mask up and wear booties and all that kind of stuff, but we were considered essential services.
Yes.
And so we were able to operate We got some grants to keep us going through that, it's very obvious to me that God was in this thing, and He's still in it today.
So I'm curious, with COVID, a lot of people were doing rehabilitation or whatever it's called, rehabs in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to go back after COVID and fix things that people thought they could actually do and they really messed it up? And
well, I think there's two schools on that. One of them is like exactly what you said.
Yeah.
People would go, "Oh, I can fix this," and then,
Yeah.
and then we get a call. My husband tried to, and then it's like, okay, well, someone will do it. But the other part about that is that most of the changes and the things that were going on, the people were cooped up in their homes, so they saw stuff that they normally would have ignored. But if I have to look at a hole in the drywall every day, eventually it's going to irritate the crap out of me, and I'm going to want to do something about it. So I think it was more of that kind of stuff where people were like, I should have gotten this fixed years ago. I'm sitting here every day in it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So let's get somebody in here that knows what they're doing.
Please come fix it. I love that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about employment nowadays, because and you're obviously needing to hire good employees. So you talked about your journey trying to find a job way back when, before COVID days, and now after COVID, it's a totally different situation. Do you want to unpack that a little bit?
I think the biggest thing is that there's that COVID kind of made everybody shut in and kept people from not communicating, and we're still going through that. A lot of people don't know how to communicate, don't know how to talk. Services industry is very, very difficult to find and keep good quality people. When I worked in the IT world, if I interviewed a guy to come and be a network administrator for me, he showed up on time. He showed up for work every day, and he did everything.
The basics.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did what you would expect an employee to do.
Yes.
In the services industry, it's kind of random. You look for the good quality people. You look for the people, and we do a lot of vetting, but we still make a lot of mistakes. So, I don't encounter too many people that have a story of, I would take that back. I do encounter people who have been out of work for a long time. And I still have to have that top quality kind of person. I'm not going to give a guy a job just because he's been out of work.
Right.
But I do understand from that perspective what that person is going through.
Yes. It's just interesting how I talk to a lot of business owners and all that they're going through trying to find people, and people are quitting left and right as well for no apparent reason, but they just do and bounce to another job. And especially in the trades industry, I've heard construction, all of that, it's really difficult to find good workers who will stick and stay. It is.
I've been very fortunate. I've got one guy who's been with me for 8 years.
Oh, wonderful.
He's a superstar.
That speaks volumes.
He says, you treat me right, I'll treat you right. And that's my whole philosophy. It's like, I want people to be very happy about coming to work every day. And there are those in the service, especially in our work, because a handyman knows everything, right? Not true, but the handyman knows how to fix everything. So, but I think the thing that makes it very nice for the people that we look for to hire are that variety. So, like, today I could have a guy doing a drywall repair. Tomorrow he might be outside fixing the fence. And that variety and that stuff, and the challenges to come up with a solution that's going to work for the homeowner.
Right.
And you guys have to be very creative. And this, like I said, this one young man has been with me for 8 years. He's that kind of guy. I often think of The Matrix, where the gal says, they say, "Can you fly the helicopter?" And she punches in the thing and says, "I can now." Whereas I say, "Can you fix this?" He pulls up a YouTube video and he looks at it and goes, "Oh yeah, I can do that. It'll take me 2 hours." And he's right, So it's like, so when you find people like that, you're going to do everything you can to make sure that they stay with you as long as they're happy working for you. So you make sure that they're always happy working for you.
That's awesome. So I do have one question. When you were looking for work, you're the second person actually to give their resilience story on searching for work, especially when you're overqualified in the other company's eyes and you don't get hired right away, and just that whole journey. What advice would you give to people who are out there job hunting today? They've done everything they think that they need to be doing, but what advice would you give to them on the job hunt in today?
I think that the biggest thing is it's really easy to give up. Unfortunately, we have some programs and processes in place that make it easier to give up. But you really want to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that you're looking to provide whatever it is in your skill set, and somebody out there needs that. Somebody out there definitely needs that. And if you walk away from that, you could be causing somebody down the road to miss out on an opportunity that you could have provided for them. It's just you have to hang tough. You have to hang tough. And if I can do it for 2 years, anybody can do it. So
yeah, no, thank you for sharing your story. I really appreciate it, and I know everyone out there needed to hear that just to encourage them as well.
Yep. Hang in there. It's worth it.
Yes.
It's worth it. Life is good. Life is always good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.